All right, guys, this is it. This is the first snow of the year, and I did not get the roof all the way on last night. Oh man, the floor's all covered. I was gonna come out and try and work on this a little bit today, but I mean, I do love the snow, don't get me wrong. I love the snow, but I'm wishing I would have had another day or two to get this sorted out. So I guess we're half dried in, right? Not fully dried in. This door needs some work. I just put a couple screws in it so it would block from the outside. The floor's not level right there, so it's bowing in the middle and it's causing you can see it's not square, so I gotta shim that one up. I bought this floor polisher. You can see I did a little bit right here just to see what it would do. Obviously it's not gonna grind these floors down, but once I have them nice and coated or polished or whatever, this thing will be good at maintaining that. I've got my electrician guy coming today. He's a customer I've had for years, and he's gonna come kind of give me some advice and some direction on which way to go. Let's look up here too in the mezzanine. Is this all dry? Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty dry up here. Other than this corner here, it needs a little bit more. Not too bad at all. I told the boys we could come sleep up here this weekend. It's gonna be really cold. Oh, interesting. Not getting much done today, but we came down to Orem to pick up the doors. These doors, there's 3 of them. Ended up being about $5 grand. I decided to change the tracks. We came down to pick them up, and I was talking to the guy at the door shop, and I was like, yo, I want my doors to go up inside the trusses. And he's like, oh, well, we have to modify the tracks then, so we're gonna have to make another trip down here. It's gonna be a little bit more money, but I think it'd be nice to have the doors go way up instead of the doors hanging down, right, and then losing a bunch of ceiling space, because a 10-foot door means the top of the door is gonna be like 10'6" or something. And then I have all the way 16 feet up to the ceiling, so that's 6 feet of space that I can't really use above that. But if I have the tracks go up inside the trusses, that's gonna gain me a bunch of space to drive the forklift past it or have more headroom, and so that's the plan. So all the hardware we're gonna have to come get later, but at least we made a trip down to get the doors. We just stopped to grab a bite to eat at this Peruvian joint. Should be pretty good. And then we're gonna head out and grab the window. The giant window is gonna fit on this trailer. So shout out to Jesus for helping me transport this stuff on a Saturday afternoon, and then we'll go back and see if I can get anything done at the shop. But it's a cold day, so I don't know. So I gotta give a huge shout out to Nobody for letting us borrow his van to pick up this big piece of glass. This is the very front window, and it was very, very, very hard to move. But what's cool is this glass rack is like perfect for this size and what we're doing. And we were really worried about setting it flat on a trailer and having it shatter. So we were actually down here. I'm about an hour from my house. We drove all the way back home and then all the way back out here again with William's van just to pick this up so we wouldn't risk breaking it. But it has these cool glass clamps on the side so we don't have to strap it down. It's on there solid. So now we got the hour ride to get back to my house, and then I don't know how we're gonna get off. It took 3 of us to lift it on. We only got me and Jesse here, so I'm not sure how we're gonna get it off. I guess we can use a forklift, but that's gonna be its own unique challenge. All right, this is our snowy, rainy weekend, and obviously we knew it was gonna drip to the roof, but it's getting this upstairs floor all wet. It's dripping through this layer. Even though this is tongue and groove, it's going through it, eventually making its way down underneath to where I put all my tools and stuff, so everything's just getting wet and flooded. It's kind of a bummer. I guess I should move this, huh? So, just, yeah, really wishing we would have had this dried in by now. All that wood's getting wet. Everything's getting wet everywhere. I just hope there's sufficient time for it to dry out at some point. Hey guys, I've been doing a lot worse at filming lately. It's just, I don't know why. It's just bogging me down. There's a lot to do, and it seems like not much progress. Working, but just a lot to do. So I'm on the roof today doing more sheeting. I feel like I've been doing this for 4 days or so. But the last 3 days were just snow, and so now there's just mud everywhere. The whole driveway's mud. Everywhere I step is mud. The roof was wet. All the wood is kind of warped because it sat in the rain for 3 days. But we're working away, getting this, getting these purlins set, getting the boards going. I got to do the purlins over there, get that sheeting done. I'm hoping to get pretty far on that today. It's supposed to rain again this weekend, so I want to get all the paper down on the roof, so at least it's waterproof. Tar paper, whatever it is. I don't know what it is yet. I got to find the material, get that all set, get everything cut and set to how it's supposed to be, and then I got to build the overhang out here. So once I have all the sheeting done, I can kind of climb out there and set the brackets, do those 7-foot boards, and then do the overhang, and then run the fascia all the way across. So that's kind of where I'm at now. It's a lot to do, but it needs to be done. I'm really frustrated that I didn't get it done before the rain because there's mud and rain and everything. All the wood's wet inside the shop, everything. So I wanted to have it all dried in, but not quite. But what can I do? Can't complain about the past. I can only work on what I've got right now. So something that's happened, I'll show you guys. It's 25 feet from there to here, right? And I've been starting and doing staggering panels, you know, so the joints aren't overlapped, right? So here's an 8-footer, and then there's an 8-footer, there's an 8-footer, right? And they come together right there. So what's happened is in the very middle, this is the very middle peak of the roof, right? And what's happened is it's 24 inches, 24 inches, 24 inches, right here it's 23 inches, which means when the sheeting crosses over the middle, it doesn't land like it should halfway through. So I have to cut about half an inch off of here to make it so that the boards overlap in the middle. So literally every time I get to the middle, each one's about 3 boards wide. I have to cut half an inch off each board with that saw. I hate that saw. I'm no good at using it, but I don't like it. Me and that saw don't have a good relationship right now. So I trim those off and then run another board so I can get a half inch on there, and then, or 3/4 of an inch, nail it off, and then keep going that way. And then they always land on how they should. They land on the board like this, right? So half this board is on, half the next board is on. I can toenail each of them and then keep going. But the problem comes is when I get to the middle of this, having it work out that way. Yep, I didn't quite cut enough there, so I gotta make another cut. I'm telling you, I don't like this saw. Nothing about it, I don't like it. Let's do another cut. A little bit more.
That's still not enough.
Alright, I guess that'll work. Not perfect, but
For now.
it'll work. No, not for now, it's permanent.
From now on. There.
From now on. Yeah, not
From
for
now.
now, from now on. Alright, that's it right there. Man, sometimes, I don't know if you remember when I was talking about it in another video, how when the snow's on top in the mountains, Utah's beautiful. We got a beautiful view right here. Ooh. That's why I need windows up there, so I can stand right here, see the tops of those mountains. Window right there. Pa, 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 pa. Window right there. Pa, 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 pa. And I can sit here and admire this time of day, but be warm inside. Alright, I gotta get the forklift started. The battery is not happy. I killed both my jump boxes starting it all day, but Jesse swapped the battery on his Mustang yesterday. It was getting weak, but it's not dead, it's just weak. So he got a new battery. We had him take a different core back, so I'm gonna put the Mustang battery in here. I hope the terminals are on the right side. Positive is on the right, facing outward. Positive is on the right, facing inward. Hopefully those will reach. I think we can make it work. All right, so swapped out Jesse's battery, and it's not fully charged. So, big surprise, right? Get that charger going. not quite. So we'll give it a while to charge up. Let me think of what else I can do. Oh, here's our big window I went and picked up. And here's some wheels I picked up for my Corolla. Some old school Riken mesh. I had 2 of them for years and years and years. And then Kevin Blanchfield had a pair of them. He posted for sale and I was like, you know what? I have those exact wheels. Let me buy a pair and then complete my set for my Corolla. All right, so I need to set these purlins still. That's my next move. I'm gonna get Clark started up, get this in place. Pop, 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 pop. All those brackets, pop, pop those brackets along the back. And then I can put some more sheeting up. And then even at night, we'll be putting sheeting up top there and going that way. I can't really put sheets across here, kind of like that one, right? Because it overlaps this truss. All the other ones have fallen like in the middle of the trusses because it's 12 feet, right? So 4, 8, 12 lands on the middle of the trusses. This one was 10, so 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ends up on the other side. So that means I'll probably end up having to 12 plus, I don't know, that might be 2 feet over there. That might end up perfect with the sheeting not needed to be cut that much. I imagine it's gonna have to be cut a little bit at some point, but that's my move. I got brackets all the way along there. I gotta do a few brackets there, all those brackets. I might actually have to go buy some more brackets. I should count those up and make sure. And then the rest of the sheeting, hopefully I have enough sheeting to finish that tonight. And then if I need to, I can go buy some more for doing the upper outside. And then Papa Chewy just stopped by and he's like, you know what, why don't you leave the overhang, and him and Felipe will work on that tomorrow. So I'm just gonna work on doing what I can do up there. They'll build that and do the fascia, and then we can finish sheeting all the way up that way. And then I really want to get underlayment paper and do the make this all waterproof, because I mean we got a big lake in here and this is all sealed up, right, closed off, but it's not really because it dripped through all the little cracks in there and then filled this whole thing up with water. So it would be nice to be able to have everything completely sealed up, so when it rains next weekend, even if we don't have roofing on, we'll at least have the paper that makes it watertight. Boys are up on the roof. I'm finishing up some of this stuff. We got all the purlins set on this side. Still gotta do them on that back side back there. But I'm up there doing sheeting. But everything's getting really slick. All this wood has a little bit of water in it and it's starting to freeze. And so walking anywhere on that wood is super slick. But yeah, the sheeting's coming together all the way out to there, which is pretty good. Just running some more sheets up there, and then we're gonna set those purlins right now. All right, so I just thought of something pretty smart. Well, I think it's smart. See if it works. So there's some gaps here on these boards, right? So I need to pull this in. I need to pull it that way. And what I would normally do was strap it between trusses. Well, but I can't strap to the trusses because I have sheeting here, so there's nowhere to attach to. So in order to pull that over, I could go underneath and use the forklift or something like that, but I think I have a better idea, using some ratchet straps. Okay, so what I did is I ran a strap from that side. We're on this side of the truss, right? Because I want to be pulling this way. I don't just want to be on the purlins, I want to be behind the truss. All the way over to that side on the truss. So now, that's tight, right? So I can use this line now to hook my strap on to pull that way. We'll see if it works. So the strap's going across, and then I'm using it to pull it in here. It took a bit of flex. I mean, there's a lot of flex in a strap, but it worked. It definitely pulled it in. That board's just too short. Not much I can do about that. That's just messed up, but it pulled these two in. So I'm just gonna keep moving down the line. Pull them in, nail them off, pull them in, nail them off. And then the other issue we have is this truss right here isn't tied to anything yet. So obviously I can't do it on top. The sheeting will tie it together somewhat, but that's not super strong. So I'll put blocks between it and nail them off, and then underneath I'll put, just like that, how that board is tying on all 4 trusses together, I'll do something underneath the top cord on the trusses to tie them together, but I'll put blocks between them first. Just need that to be strong, because this outside wall, see if I can shimmy over there without dying. This outside wall also has flex in it, and that's the entire wall. So obviously that needs to be supported somehow. So that's going to tie into the rest of the roof structure, which should give it support, but I want that to be strong. And since we don't have any purlins running all the way out there, we're going to rely on basically between here and there to tie it together. So block, 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 blocks underneath, blocks everywhere to make it strong. Alright, so that strap method kind of worked. I got most of these pretty tight. Now I got to move over and do this side. This is the peak center of the roof. I got to nail off all of those and then put my blocks in there. Then I can continue sheeting all the way to the side. And then all of my job sheeting is done. They're still building the overhang over there. Looks really good. It's a 3-foot overhang off the front. We got to carry that all the way over to the edge here. That'll make it nice. Like when it's raining or snowing, there'll be a little bit of clear path right outside of my door instead of, you know, having snow and ice accumulate. Well, ice probably will because the sun's back there. So there's always going to be ice on the in front of my shop. I'll have to keep that shoveled. But that'll be nice to have that. I don't know if I'm going to put gutters yet or not. I may just let it drip away, but we'll see. Look at that straight line there. Pretty good, right? Not perfect, but pretty good. And now, look at that line right there. Somehow, I got that board way off. I think it was one of the first ones we did. We nailed it on the wrong side of the bracket, but it's more than just that. It's like 2 inches over instead of an inch and a half. So I got to remove that bracket. When you see the problem, it doesn't leave us a spot for that board to sit on, so it has to move for sure. So we've done a few of those. It's a huge pain. You have to rip the nails out. There's nails going through. There's nails everywhere. So I think Jesse drew that. So I got to pry that off of there, but also support it so it doesn't fall 16 feet to the ground, which means I'm going to have to get the forklift up here, build a little support off of it to hold it up, and then climb up there, rip it off, move it. Huge pain. But this is part of the learning process. This is my first time doing it, and I'm making a lot of mistakes. Here's the fascia going on. Looks good. That's cool. That's built out pretty well now. The shop is completely closed in on this side, which means we got the roof and the walls here. So this is the first corner of the shop to be sealed up. I mean, we need a door still, obviously, but that's cool. So what I found was, with what I'm doing over here, I need to pull this wall this way. So I'm going to use this yellow strap, attach it to the top of Clark there, and ratchet it until my gap up there is like 6.5. I cut a little nailer board for it, and right now it's about 1 inch over, so I need to pull that wall about 1 inch that way and give that a shot. Alright, so I got it hooked up to Clark down there. There's the strap pulling the wall, and before I was about 1 inch off. This is 6.5, and now it's in there flush. That worked pretty well. So those nails are going to have to be strong enough for when I release the strap, it doesn't pull the nails out. So this fascia is coming along nicely, the overhang, whatever you want to call it. It's 3 foot, and once it's trimmed out and all done, it's going to be really cool. I'm excited to have that. I found out today that that post right there, the one that goes between the 2 doors, is actually not perfectly level or plumb. It's tilted in a little bit. There's a couple things that could have caused that. It could have happened when we set the trusses. It could be because the truss that goes this way, that attaches to that post, it was bananaed a little bit, So if you banana something, it'll pull both posts in towards each other. And since that one wasn't supported by anything else, it was literally just free floating, it'd be really very easily influenced by that truss pulling it in. So that's a possibility. Either way, the only thing that's really going to affect is how we mount the doors. We'll just have to offset the door spacers a little bit to make it flush. Not a huge deal, but a little bit disappointing. Alright, so finally we got this one moved right there. It was all the way over here. It took a couple of us, one guy to hold it up. I was prying that out with a pry bar, and now it lines up, falls right where it should. Perfect. Look at that. Beautifully done. After it was done incorrectly, I fixed my mistake. Alright, so this is the gable end, and there's 4 trusses here, which is ridiculous. But since there's not much holding these 4 trusses together, they're really wobbly. I'm basically building blocks between there, there, and there, right? So it gives some strength this way. And then that'll basically tie the gable into the purlins here. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring this 5 5/8, 6 3/4, and then 3 1/2, and then I'm writing them right there. That way I can come around, or I can go write them down, whatever. I can go downstairs, cut all these blocks, bring them back up, and then boom, 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 nail them off. So you see our last sheet there. It doesn't go all the way to the edge, so we had to build nailer blocks. That way we can cut our 5-inch strip and just run it all the way from one side to the other with those nailer blocks. And then having them right here, they go on center with the purlins. So when the sheets cross there, boom, we can nail off pop, 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 pop in this area and not be just floating in space. Look at that beautiful view, mountains, that super shiny air conditioning unit, the new temple they built, just beautiful. Look at that. So I'm up here taking all that. I just literally scooted my butt all the way down, taking measurements of all those, and then wrote them on these boards, which I'm now transferring to my construction paper in order. One being the first one I can see down there, all the way down, and just my lapis and my construction paper, and just making it happen. Boom, 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 boom. I got a few more. Then I'll go downstairs. I've got a ton of extra blocks that are just scraps about this length, so I can gather all those up in 2x6s, cut all these to length, label them so I can bring them up in order, and then set them out here and just sit up here nailing all night. It's gonna be cold, but you can see the sun's going down, and it's probably 5 o'clock or 5:20, something like that. It's just that time of year. But oh, where was it? There's something funny I wanted to show you guys. Gotta scoot over there without dying. Where is it? Oh, right there. Someone was trying really hard to find that with a nail gun. At least 2 of those 12 nails made it in there. Hopefully this is strong, because we're all sitting on this 3-foot fascia. This is the last support. That's all overhang. Look at that. Beautiful. Bam. This will all get trimmed out with some metal fascia and soffit and all that stuff. So I've got 2 lifts to bring here. That one needs to go to the other shop that I'm renting out. I'll trade that out. I've got 2 matching bend packs that I got from Brody that I'm gonna bring here, and then I'll have my trailer back. All right, guys, we're back. Another day. Today's Thursday. It's supposed to snow tomorrow and through the weekend, I think. So we're trying to get the roof all the way done and the other wall. So let's go check it out. That wall we probably won't have done today. This front wall's all done, and the what would you call that? The overhang out front. This wall's going up right now, and then we can finish the roof and the 1-foot overhang back there, and then that wall will probably remain open for now. That's gonna be easy because we just gotta put a couple 2x10s up, put the sheeting up. Problem is there's only 5 feet outside to get a ladder in the fence, so it's a little more tight from there. I gotta nail on some blocks up there today that me and Jesse cut last night. Finished the sheeting right there, then this will be all dried in, and then it's a matter of putting the underlayment up there so it's waterproof, because you see all those gaps, water's gonna go right through, drip to the floor, and get everything wet in here. So it's almost the same as not having a roof, because everything ends up getting wet anyways. So Jesse and I cut these last night. We got them all labeled and laid out. All the way down and so on. So these blocks are gonna go in between those trusses, kind of like those are. But we want the load from that last truss to be carried through to these purlins. So I did them in line. Those were just random as I was putting it up. And if I would have thought about it, I would have just done what I'm doing now in the first place. But I didn't have the foresight to do all that. So, and then you can see these last blocks over here give us somewhere to nail off the sheeting, since it doesn't end perfectly on the truss. So those are on center with our purlins, so we can nail off the roof sheeting and then cut that little strip and have somewhere to nail that too. Guys, I knew this was gonna happen eventually. They told me it was gonna happen. I'm fighting really hard to film this before I pull my glove off. I was holding right here and trying to shoot towards my hand, and the lock hit, but the nail came above and it kind of hurts. But let me see if I can take my glove off and hold my camera. Alright, I don't see any blood. Alright, that's dirty, but not too bad. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go inside and take care of that. All the nails I've shot and I finally got. Is that a rite of passage? I don't know. It hurts, that's for sure. I guess I'm glad it didn't go all the way through my finger, right into my thumb. What's that from? That's from something else. This used to be my good hand. All right, so it's supposed to snow tomorrow, so I went and got a bunch of paper for the roof. This is synthetic underlayment. Those rolls, these are ice and water paper. It's like a tar paper, asphalt, whatever, sandpaper type stuff. This goes on the slope side. That stuff's gonna go on the flat side. I found a guy selling a bunch of it that he had left over, so it was about half price. So I think I'm $400 into all this stuff. And then I bought some other the other day, probably $600 into that. So we'll see how far it goes. I need to roll it out today. The sun's going down. We don't have much time, so I gotta start walking the stuff back and forth and start laying it down so that it doesn't leak tomorrow. Adam, do you wanna take a video for me? Okay, hold it, but don't cover the lens. Don't cover the lens right there. Okay, I'm gonna carry him up. This would be a good job for the forklift, but we don't have any more openings in the roof to lift it with the forklift. All right, here we go. Point it over here. Okay, 1, 2, 3 more. Those have to be over 100 pounds, and I'm not the strongest guy in the world, but lift it up. You think you can lift it, Adam? Are you a strong guy? No? And then we gotta go out that window. Point it at that window. No. Stay here. Point the camera at the window. We gotta go out, no, the other window. All the way over there. That window. Way over there. Turn. That window. See that window? We gotta go out that window and then up onto the roof with all these all these heavy things. Okay, next. We're losing daylight. Leave it like this. Do it. Whew. 2 more. All right, so Jesse and I are at it. Can't see you. Oh, barely. We're putting ice and water paper down on the roof to make it waterproof. So tomorrow when it snows and rains, we won't have a huge mess like we did last time. We're about to go up on the very top and put down synthetic paper and roll it out over the whole thing. The ice and water paper is a lot more expensive, but it's better for shingle underlayment. So we're gonna do that on everywhere on this side. And then up top, we're just gonna use that synthetic paper, which is a lot cheaper. I may end up doing something in the future before we put the metal down, but at least for now, that synthetic paper covers 1,000 square feet and it's not very expensive. Whoa. Wish you guys could see me. I'm struggling to climb the ladder. I got 2 Dr. Peppers in one hand and my phone in my other hand. There we go. Anyways, that paper's a lot less expensive. And so that's what we're gonna do for now. It'll make it waterproof, but it may not be a long-term solution. So you can see the ice and water paper. It's basically like asphalt tar paper. I think it's what they call tar paper, right? From back in the day. And the underside is like sticky tar. I think when it gets hot, it actually sticks down. Since it's cold, it's like not very good. But we gotta trim out all this roof and do all that and basically get it so the water can't get under the paper, and then that should make it waterproof. All right, we got everything done up on these crazy slopes. There's a bunch of hips and different peaks and valleys and stuff, and that was the hardest part, was trimming and making sure water wasn't gonna flow under something. I'll bet those of you that are roofers are just saying like, rolling your eyes, because we got patches and stuff everywhere, different colors of ice and water, but I got the stuff for really cheap. And one thing about it is it's got that adhesive on the bottom side, and I wish we had a torch to go around and like heat everything up and get it to stick, because that's something that probably works well in the summer, but not in the middle of winter. But we were able to get it all covered with, I think, 7 rolls, so it's not bad. 50 bucks a roll, and now we're waterproof and we can put shingles right on top of this stuff. Now we got to go up to the this was a big slope. This was the hardest part. It's 73 by 25. There's a lot of walking the rolls out. Now this up here is gonna be covered with a different paper, and we've got a 50 by 60 up here to do, so 3,000 square feet of paper to roll out. So we're gonna flip the lights around, get this all cleaned up, and then roll the paper out. Look at that view, look at those mountains. Rolling out our last piece here all the way across. We got to get this done before it snows tomorrow. So what I've been doing is wrapping this around the corner here and then nail it down. I leave a little bit of excess on this side, that way if it's if it's gonna drip, it'll drip down and not like get on the wood. We're trying to protect the wood as much as possible. I think it's after 10 o'clock and here comes the cops. We must be causing a disturbance. But we're just gonna roll this out here.
Got a visitor.
So we'll have to scab it together. Where'd you go? Yo! Good. Okay, we're done. We're just, we had to cover the wood before it snows tomorrow, so.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
People are starting to call us about
Okay.
pounding.
Okay.
I'm sorry, man.
Real quick.
Brandon? I'm the homeowner, you can look it up.
I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions.
That's correct.
Just grab it from me real fast.
Okay.
What's the last name, Brandon?
Wicknick?
Can you spell it for me?
W-I-C-K-N-I-C-K. Brandon?
Your birthday?
Oh.
Birth? Good. I appreciate you guys sitting
Okay.
down for the night.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
You guys are good.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you.
A man can't even build a shop on his own property at 11 p.m.
We came up short by just a little bit.
That's painful.
It is painful. But,
But this is the cap, so
yep,
the likelihood of water going up
true.
if we scabbed it together.
True. I wonder who's behind. Been out here this late before. Maybe they finally got fed up. They've been putting up with it, now they're finally fed up. I don't know, man. I'd much rather my neighbor just come out and say, "Can you shut up?" than call the cops, you know? I want to live in a neighborhood where neighbors can tell each other to shut up instead of calling the police.
You ready to hammer some more nails real quick?
Yep.
Just be quiet.
You know what it was? Is that music you listened to, Jesse?
You turned it down like hours ago.
Blasting it from the 16 feet on the roof, the whole neighborhood.
I like to party.
I was gonna do that whole, I'm not gonna give you my name.
You got a warrant?
Alright, gonna nail these off real quick. Done. Alright, so, I mean, this is pretty good. Did you give it a little look around? We got it all covered and dried in, so now when it snows and rains, we're not gonna be getting dripped on inside. So I'm stoked on that. Roofing is going to be in the future, but this is where I wanted to get to, at least for now.
Before the winter started rolling.
Yeah, we might come up and take these joints when it dries out again, but the wood got wet once and it all like started to, it just sucks. So I want to keep the wood dry, and I think we got everything dry that we needed to. One more wall over there and then the doors, and this thing is completely sealed up. So all right, let's hammer up before the cop gets out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more. I don't know what we're doing next. There's just plenty to do. But this is kind of the this is kind of a big milestone because I wanted to get to this point so I could kind of like sit back, relax, and like, okay, I was just been grinding to get it dried in, and now we're pretty much dried in. Pretty much. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye. All right, guys, we did it. We were able to look at the snow everywhere. We were up late last night. Got the cops called on us because we were hammering at 11 p.m. But we did it. We got the shop dried in. We got the waterproof coating on the roof, whatever it's called, the synthetic underlayment. We got the tar paper on this side. That water's from 5 days ago. It still hasn't dried out. So I really obviously didn't want it to get wet again. But yeah, we're dry in here. Obviously we need a couple windows, we need to seal that up, but as far as the roof, we're good. I'm super happy. Quite a bit of snow actually that we got. I still need to deal with the lift. I want to get the lift over here, but yeah, we are dried in. Look, we even got icicles hanging off. Yeah, that's cool, but we're dry. We're dry. The paper off of there. Stoked. Now, I had an idea for a project. You guys let me know what you think. I've got my tubes going to my in-floor heating, right? And I'm not ready to put in a boiler and all that stuff yet. We don't even have electrical. I thought about bringing a 2J over here, building a stand for it to run it, and then plumb the water pump into my heated floors, and literally just run a 2J here at idle to heat my floors. Tell me what you think about that.